You're putting yourself in a place to grab all of that. So from now till the 10 p.m., from now till 10 a.m. rather, I need to wake up. From now till 10 a.m., we're bringing you nothing but the best in conversations, interviews as well. We'll be touching base with our guests who will be joining us in studio to have conversation on all the raging issues of national importance. And yes, indeed, we'll bring you all the various segments as well. Murtala Yunusa is already in studio, and so we'll be getting to court today as well. But let's start this morning with some motivation. And our codes for this morning, understand. Codes for the morning. And before we bring you caught today, let's also check out our video of the day.
Behold, he
And that's our video of the one. We apologize for that, by the way. But let's get to the legal matters. Yes, indeed, there's a legal vacation, but it doesn't mean that justice has come to a halt in Ghana. So let's do court today. Murtala Kwenote Inusa has joined me. Murtala, good morning.
Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Good morning.
You like this on a Monday in a very long while.
Yeah. It's a long while, like I see how.
But it's nice to see you.
I was here last week, Monday. Okay.
Yes, but I have not been on Mondays for a couple of weeks.
For you.
Exactly,
Yeah,
for a couple of weeks. So
yeah, it's true.
yeah,
So
but now
it's been a while.
Yeah.
Seeing you on a Monday.
Yes.
Those days, Lantan Papanko will say, "Oh, Mondays are beautiful days."
Yeah, but they
Mondays
are actually
days that everyone enjoys.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
Yes, unless you hate your job. If you hate your job, then Mondays will be treacherous.
Like Mondays,
But if you love your job, Mondays are very beautiful
I
days.
swear, that is true. That is true. When you start well on a Monday, definitely the rest of the week.
Exactly. I agree into two. And it's not just because I'm a Monday born.
Oh, hey, Kodjo.
So yes.
Well, your Kodjo is spelled differently, right?
Yeah,
It's not
because
a normal
I'm from
Kodjo
no. What do you mean by normal? I can't be normal. I'm very abnormal. Normal is overrated.
If I didn't get that reaction, then that was not going to come from you.
But of course, we are on break, right?
Yeah.
The courts are on break.
Yeah, so a lot of people are confused about what is even happening within the judiciary. So let me explain this. Within the justice delivery system, within the judiciary, their legal year begins from October, the first week of October, and then it ends on the 1st of July every year.
Yeah.
So the 2025-2026 legal year started from October 2025, 1st October 2025, and ended on the 31st of July. That's
2026.
That was Friday.
Yes.
So Friday was the last time that the judiciary sat or the judiciary was working within the 2025-2026 legal year. So from August 1, the last day, or to the 30th of September, it's a legal vacation.
Right.
So when you legal vacation also, the court, we have the superior court and then the lower court. So when you take over the lower court, circuit court, district court, no vacation for them.
Oh, no our
There's
day.
no vacation, no our day. So the district court and the circuit court, they are in full session.
Fantastic.
So
fantastic.
those ones, it should be established. No vacation for the lower court. But for the superior courts, the high court, court of appeal, and the Supreme Court, it is automatic vacation. But just so also to ensure that there is no vacuum, there's a room for vacation courts.
Right.
Especially the High Court. And the rules allow, CI said of the court, they allows that. So the high courts all across the country, the Chief Justice has designated specific ones to sit, to handle things in the course of the vacation. You know that we have various divisions, criminal division, labor division, human rights division, commercial division, general jurisdiction, financial court. So each of these jurisdictions or divisions definitely will sit in the course of the legal vacation. So where cases come up and it falls under any of this or these divisions, the court is properly ready to serve you. So even though the judiciary is embarking on a 2-month legal vacation, arrangements are in place, courts are sitting, vacation courts are there, and mostly this is the time that we'll see the e-justice, the judiciary automated or the electronic system,
like the one you
system.
did some time ago where you were in the newsroom.
Absolutely, I'm attending court, yes. So most of the sittings will be via online. The judges will be in the court. So when you go to the court, it's only the judge and the clerks. Lawyers and their clients, prosecutors will be in their offices and they will join via link. So you just have to go to the Judicial Service website, and then all the vacation courts are listed there. When you have a case, just log in and then you attend the courts as normal as you are, provided you have enough data. Then data connectivity.
You must have it.
You must have it.
your matter
but
is
you may have it, but definitely the area that you will also have an issue.
So you move to a place where you can get proper connection.
Those days when you want to make a call, then there's a particular spot that you have to always be searching and all of that. So that is with respect to the legal vacation. And just before the legal vacation, then Sedina Tamaklo serviced. So once that Sedina Tamaklo service in the manner that 3 wise men, the Court of Appeal, delivered a judgment, and that judgment was to the effect that she's acquitted and discharged. And then immediately, and this happened on the 30th of July, a day before the legal vacation. Then, that same day, the Attorney General filed a stay of execution and a notice of appeal, essentially saying that we're going to challenge the decision from the Court of Appeal. And where we are going to challenge that, the forum is the Supreme Court. So from first judge, Justice Efiasewa Saribotwe delivered a judgment, said Natamaklo was not happy, went to the Court of Appeal to meet 3 judges. And all the 3 judges unanimously, Justice Ankama, Emmanuel Ankama, Justice Samuel Obing Diewu, and then Justice Emmanuel Amedahe. They unanimously acquitted and discharged Sedna Tamaklo. Then, following day, the Attorney General filed a stay of execution. A stay of execution essentially means that once the Court of Appeal has acquitted and discharged her, it means she'll be let go. And the AG is saying that, no, we have an issue with the decision of the Court of Appeal. So wait, don't let her go. Let her be in custody. And then let's pursue, because we believe that the decision from the Court of Appeal is a miscarriage of justice, and we have exceptional grounds to succeed at the Supreme Court. So wait, let's go to the Supreme Court and come back. And on Friday, a different panel altogether, this time around, presided over by Justice Rosetta Benasco Essa, sat on the matter together with Justice Ernest Owusu-Dapah and Justice Ayite Amatete, a different set altogether, had the argument in relation to the stay of execution. And then, guess what? Once the AG, Hilda Craig, a principal state attorney, moved that motion for stay of execution, the lawyer for Sedna Tamaklo, Enoch Digbe, also opposed to that. And the panel retired to go and consider, deliberate, and then come out with a decision as to whether to stay or not to stay. And after 2 hours, they came back to say that we have not been able to reach a determination or a conclusion on the matter, and therefore we are adjourning. And the reason they are adjourning without specific date was that that day was the last sitting of the year, 31st of July. So after that year, the court cannot sit, and the court can only sit with a warrant from the Chief Judge. And the Chief Judge performs his administrative duties and all of them. One of the things is for him to grant you an extension of time or time within the time that the court are not sitting. Any court that sits without the Chief Justice's warrant in the legal vacation, your decisions are invalid. So you need that warrant. They say that, okay, for us to rule on this particular thing, the obvious is to go to the next legal year or the new legal year, which is in October.
Yeah.
But if you want to take it now, then we need the Chief Justice's warrant to say that you have to sit and finish this case. And for you to apply for a warrant, you need to justify why you need that to sit at that particular time that you are requesting, where the case has gotten to, the decision, the manner it is, and all of that. You need to explain and convince the Chief Justice that this is the reason why you want to get a warrant to conclude. And the Chief Justice has a right to look at it if he's convincing enough, and every judge will have to do that. I've seen situations whereby a judge will say, I'm applying for a warrant to the CJ to do this case via video, or maybe the witness is far away, and then our accused person is not there. We want to get in touch with him. We use the video link and all of that to get him to come and then deal with the issue. So that was the indication why the Court of Appeal said, look, at this particular point in time, we are going on vacation. When we are going on vacation, then it means we cannot give you a decision. The earliest we can give you a decision is in October. However, there's that option for us to get the Chief Justice to give us a warrant, and that is what we are waiting for. If the panel gets that warrant to sit, then it means the parties will be communicated to, hearing notices will be sent to the parties to appear on the date agreed, the time agreed, and then the court will make a determination of this particular case in time and all of that. So with respect to Sedna, I'm sure you have read the judgment. There's one thing that we have all learned from this particular judgment that has come out, and it's about moving in a situation whereby you are not well versed in what the situation is at hand. I've heard people reacted immediately we broke the news. So many things. They said so many things. And just after reading the full judgment, they've had to change.
A lot of minds have been shifted.
Their minds.
After reading the judgment.
After reading their minds. But that is even good because you are now admitting, acknowledging that, oh, patience is golden. I ought to have exercised a little bit of patience.
Restraint, yes.
For me, that's the concern really, because we've seen a lot of time, many a times, decisions come and then without reasons, without going through the reasons, we have already concluded. And I'm happy that people have read it and they believe that you always have to read the full judgment to be able to understand why the justices will come to that determination, why a judge has decided to come to that determination. But what's on your screen now is the notice, the stay of execution that the Attorney General filed on the 31st of July. In fact, it was filed on the 30th of July at 2:55. So 2:50 in the afternoon, the decision of the Court of Appeal was in the morning, a little bit before 10 a.m. And then at 2:55, the Attorney General has filed. And you know that Dominic Ayene was then addressing the media around 1 p.m. where he charged on that he's been made aware of that decision, and therefore his office is called the Director of Public Prosecution to file a stay of execution, to file a notice of appeal to challenge that. So this is the stay of execution, the notice for stay of execution that was filed pending an appeal. And then it was moved on Friday. Director, let's look at the other one. And on Friday, where this particular notice was, then of course, once it was moved, you need to tell the court why you think that you need the court to grant you your request. And the request that they put before the court is essentially saying that, look, let me give you some background to what has happened. So they catalog everything that happened, why they went to the Court of Appeal, why the Court of Appeal decided the reasons they are coming again, and also make references to the decision that was taken by the Court of Appeal, the extradition processes for Sedna to come back. And then, of course, sometime in June 2026, the respondent was extradited. That is, Sedna Tamaklo was extradited back in Ghana and all of that. So they gave that background. Director, let's move. They gave that background to show why they decided to file a stay of execution. But let me tell you essentially what the AG has been saying in relation to why they think they have to challenge this particular judgment. That the judgment of the Court of Appeal has occasioned a substantial miscarriage of justice for, among other reasons, material errors of law and fact apparent on the face of the record. So that is one of the reasons the Attorney General is challenging the acquitter, the acquitter of Sedna Tamaku. Then also make the point that the appeal raises substantial and arguably grounds of law which discloses a real likelihood of success. So they believe that the grounds of the appeal that they have filed in at the Supreme Court, the success of the likelihood of its success is very high, and they believe that they will succeed. That is why they are saying that stay the execution. So essentially, they are saying that they are asking for a stay of execution given by the Court of Appeal. That's the judgment on the 30th. And so went on to say that should the matter not be stayed, there is a real likelihood of the respondent leaving the jurisdiction and rendering the effort of the applicants in this matter nugatory. So they harbor that intention that maybe, just maybe, if Sedina is released, she might leave the jurisdiction, she might leave Ghana, and that will make the work that the AG is doing by way of the appeal amount to nothing. Then it also makes the point that the matter set out above constitutes special circumstances warranting the grant of this application. And so once the AG has made this known to the court, they believe that, yes, that stay of execution ought to be granted. But like I said, the three-member panel of the Court of Appeal have adjourned the case indefinitely, but they believe that should they get a warrant from the Chief Justice, they will be able to sit in the course of the legal vacation to deal with this matter. We have more, but we'll end here.
Absolutely.
And hopefully tomorrow when we come,
we'll definitely
give more updates.
More. Fantastic, fantastic. Anything else to add before we run up?
Yes, so today in the legal year, today is the official day because the 1st August was a Saturday.
It was a weekend.
2nd was a Sunday. So today is the day. So these are the major cases. So tomorrow when I come, like I mentioned, I'll take you through all the major cases that came between 2025 and then 2026 legal year and all of that.
Mutala Kwenotenusa, thank you so much for bringing us Scott today. We'll take a breather. When we come back, our guests are ready. We'll get into the conversations. Well, thank you so much for staying on with us. This is still GT here on GH1 television, and it's time for the breakfast review. And this morning, I've been joined by two regulars on the show. Dr. Dixon Adomakonkisi is a former member of parliament for Anyaso Utum, and also here with Theophilus Jimega Jr. He's a paralegal practitioner, a mining engineer, and a member of the NDC's legal directorate and the communications team as well. He wears so many hats. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Kodjo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. It's nice to see you. It's been a
Pleasure.
while.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm like garden gun. When you tell me this way, I fire. If you tell me that way, if you keep me in your cubicle, I remain there. Yeah. Yes.
Doug, it's been a minute as well.
True.
Yes. I hope you've been doing well.
Tired but well. Wow. Tired but well. Yeah. A lot of things to do over the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And how's practice?
It's keeping me busy, and I think it's always good to get people well. Yeah. You know, it's very good. It's very enjoyable.
Right.
And very rewarding.
Absolutely.
You know, when the sick start walking. Yeah.
That's where you derive your pleasure.
Yes.
To see that
yeah.
the people who come to the various facilities, they don't live the same. In fact, they live better.
Yeah.
Interesting.
However, you know, in my line of work, still some would pass on.
Yeah.
And it's very natural. Sometimes my nurses don't like it, but I say, hey, if we were at the bank, we'll be having money losses.
Yeah.
But ours is life. Yep.
And one loss is one loss too much.
Yes, it is. But we move on to the next. That's just how it is. Yeah. But I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
On a Monday, and for that matter, a new month.
Yes.
Of August.
The month of August.
I'll still a minute. The 4th is my mother's birthday.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
She turns 82. So let me use this opportunity, Mrs. Kisi, happy birthday in advance.
Absolutely.
On your 82nd birthday. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I'm excited. And that's also Obama's birthday, you know?
Yeah.
I always remember that. Though he's not in Ghana, but...
I mean, 4th of August?
Yes, 4th of August. Yes.
That was the same day that we moved from the left to the right
Well...
in terms of driving.
Driving, yes.
May I join you to wish Mom a happy birthday? Mine is 83 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a joy to hear her voice. So I believe you are happy to hear her voice. Madam Kisi, happy birthday from all of us here.
Absolutely. Mama, God bless you so much. And we wish you strength and more joy, even as you keep growing and keep being with us as well. But let's get to the issues of this morning. I'd like to start with you, Counsel, because I remember that prior to this whole extradition that we sort of said in Atamaklo, people had their perspectives. In fact, when she came in, one of the things that I heard was that, she's coming in because this administration, her administration is back in power, and nothing would really happen to her. She would get what people predicted is what has happened. But then, when the full judgment of the court came, it's been able to, one, stir controversy. For some, it's been able to clarify matters for them. For you as well as counsel, what do you make of the decision of the court to discharge and, in fact, basically acquit and discharge her?
Good morning to your viewers. I watched a video of His Excellency the President over the weekend in a men's fellowship, and I am so elated that the man is just too simple. His Excellency, and the wife was also giving the very good support. And actually, those two, they are blessed. They are blessed.
You know, the president attends my church, Assemblies of God.
So I know very well. I know he attends. Which one? North Kaneshi?
Yes. No. Ringway.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Maybe those who attend there, they are so blessed. But the president was fantastic. I saw it even on several Nigerian platforms were hailing him. But before I come to your topic, I was discussing with Doctor. There is a bit of insensitivity here for the MPP particularly to be organizing a demonstration on 6th of August, the day we want to honor the memory of those who perished in the helicopter crash. I think they should think about it again twice. It will be good for their own image as well. That aside, Kodjo, I think that all of us, myself included, might not have done Sedina a good by the way we all bastardized her prior to this appeal. You said people predicted.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you are in a well or in fire, people will predict that you will get burnt in fire. Everybody will be hoping that you get out of fire. So there was only one way type of prediction. So the predictions, whether good, bad, whether right, wrong, does not depend on emotions. We were here when we were told the law is the law. But Kodjo, before then, let me say one of the reasons why I felt we were not happy to Sedina. I managed to get hold of the record of proceedings.
Okay.
And Sticker was once asked, before you brought the auditors, you knew from your records that Obatampa had not paid back the 500,000. It's a preliminary yes. You also knew from your records that the contract for the acquisition of vehicles had been signed by your predecessor, but not a single CD has been paid by Maslow. Is that correct? Say, yes, my lady. Why are we bastardizing the lady again? Why? And the vehicles that were supposedly acquired, do you know how they were disposed of? I'll tell you. There's a certain Kobnafosu, and he was asked, do you mean Daddy Lumba, who got 2? The Tema East Constituency Secretary, I have his name somewhere. Tema East Constituency Secretary. He got 10 of those vehicles. I'll get the name for you. Dennis Amfo got 10. Now, the star witness, the one who was the board chair of the company, who was testifying, said something, or I will get the name somewhere, was being prosecuted for stealing 80 million as a result of being the regional director for a national service. Have you heard anything about that prosecution again? Did he cut some deal somewhere to come and say all this? The reason why I feel a lot of work was not done properly on Sedina was that there was no evidence. But I listened to Mutala now. I watch him. When he said when the judgment came or the announcement came, a lot of them were all over the place. But having read the judgment, you realize that no, a lot of shoddy work was done. I watched Gary Nimaku on Saturday night, and his tone was different from what was in the morning. I watched one of the guys on TV3. The tone was different from the previous day. I'm talking about the MPP lawyers even. The fact that the money cannot be accounted for somewhere needs to be said. And you know the auditors who did the auditing, how much they were paid? 2 million Ghana cedis. And we have not been able to get a penny out of all this. Why? Why? Just because you want to convict somebody, just because you want to get somebody out there to be the fall person. Why? Almost all the vehicles that were procured were given out to MPP functionaries. Don't call me. I'm talking on authority. Even GPRTU, which was a stakeholder for the buses, got only very few. Then Sticker and the minister renegotiated the contract and dollarized the contract and come back and tell us that no amount was, some amount was lost to the state. But for something, I would have wished that the Attorney General goes after Sticker rather. Yes.
For what crime?
You see, it's very difficult for lawyers to criticize lawyers or to criticize judges by our profession, their ethics. But the state prosecutor, GHOne Apia, very bad job. You're talking about somebody's liberty. You took all this. Imagine that the prosecutor was being paid by a private company. How much you would have been paid? Imagine that all cases being assembled were being assembled by a private company. How much you would have lost? That's the reason why I said those who were there, who knew very well that the evidence didn't exist. You say you drove all the way from Ejura to Accra. I want to break down certain things to you. Two people that drove down. One said, both of us took the money in the Ghana must go and deposited it in Sedina's vehicle. The other came and said that I didn't come out. It was only when the first one sat in Sedina's car and the lights were on that I realized it was Sedina. One said, we went for 100 cities and 200 cities in denomination money. The other said were 10, 50, 100 and 200. Two people coming with the same amount of money. Come on. What are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to ourselves? Yes, even when the news came first, the breaking news was being aired. Some of my mates were like, hey, don't go to any TV station and defend this. I said, let's wait. When they started reading the judgment, then one of them asked me, will you go tomorrow? I said, if I get the opportunity, I'll go. Then I asked him, is it peeling off? He said, it has peeled off. Even if you go and say nonsense, I'll support you because what I read, a lot of shoddy work was done. Then, okay, I don't think that the idea of justice is just necessarily to get somebody in jail. No, that should not be the idea of justice. It shouldn't be the idea of justice. Justice is supposed to make the scale tilt evenly. But it looks like years back, the justice has always been to get somebody in jail. Why? You spend 2 million, at least let's use that of the auditors to get 0 cedis. Why? Why? Why do we do that to ourselves? And today, they are talking about prediction. They are talking about going on demonstration. And I watched Nana B, a lawyer, saying that we are going on demonstration because the courts have spoken. The very courts you were telling us years before that go to court, go to court. Today they have spoken, you are going to demonstrate. Oh,
the former Attorney General has described this as the closest we have come to the reenactment of the GHOne thing, the GHOne scandal. That's what Godfrey Dami is saying.
He should be.
We've now had 2 sets of laws for 2 sets of people in the country.
You see, with all sincerity and due deference to the former Attorney General, he should bow his head down in shame if he has any iota of dignity left. This is somebody who has been, let me use the word, indicted by the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council that he has breached the ethics of the profession. This is somebody who was caught on tape trying to coach, not only coach, because coaching is even not allowed, coach to tell a lie. And he is here talking about this. Yes, you see, in football, there are certain instances you can kick the ball against your opponent and it will become an own goal. That's what they want to do. This is far, far different from Oyome. What is the Oyome issue about? Oyome's properties were seized. They were given to state security. What is it about? Oyome got cleared from the generated during the criminal thing. They went as far as Supreme Court. There are 2 different scenarios. Not Godfrey Dami. No, he shouldn't be the one talking. I'm talking about GHOne Apia, who led the prosecution. You read some of the things and you are wondering, did you go to a different law school? Did you practice differently? We are talking about somebody's dignity, somebody's liberty. It shouldn't be true. That is why the Constitution tried to protect such a liberty and dignity by a whole chapter. We shouldn't just throw it at the whims and caprices of Godfrey Dami or the people who think like him. No, it shouldn't be. Let us, or if Sedina has committed a crime, let her go and do time. But with what we have read from the judgment, I think a lot of shoddy work went in. And there was, I won't even use the word shoddy, there was a deliberate thing to say, let us get to 1 point and only 1 point only. Yes, perhaps Ferdinand's absconding or purported absconsion didn't help her case. I heard about the fact that she's disentitled because she's a fugitive from justice. What if Ferdinand comes now to say that I am not a fugitive? I asked permission. Permission was granted me. You didn't take time to find out if I have failed, I've completed my medical treatment before you took that. So I am not a fugitive. I am still undergoing treatment when you brought me back. Then she is entitled. She is no more disentitled. And even the disentitlement that is being used is a common law principle. We've never used it here. Yes, common law is part of our laws.
Yes.
But we don't have precedence here. And common law situations are just persuasive. They are not coming with any force. So I think that let us do justice where justice needs to be done.
Right. Well, I'm bring Dr. Dixon Adumakunkise into the conversation. Now, his party, the New Patriotic Party, they believe that this is a miscarriage of justice, and they say that the stay of execution and the appeal that was filed by the current Attorney General is nothing but a sham. In fact, they believe that all of this was properly orchestrated and it's playing out the way it was planned for it to play out. Doc, you've listened to counsel. He says, well, every single idea or every single point you held against Sedina has been basically rubbished by this particular judgment that the court has given in terms of her appeal, acquitting and discharging her.
I'm deeply troubled by a number of events in this country, and I worry largely because we are teaching morals within the lens of party colors, and it is almost becoming the norm that if you commit an offense with one party and you are, as it is, arraigned before the court, the ruling can be colored by party or by party lens. And for that matter, when another party comes, the judgment can be reversed. And I think this trend is worrying for me. I do not necessarily subscribe to everything that has happened and agree. But, you know, let's look at this Attorney General who, right off the bat, threw out cases. I think literally within his first 90 days of office, he came out with a good list of people or cases. And at that time, I felt that though he was right, for students of law to appreciate what went into his decision, it would have been appropriate that the court should have arrived at the decision of the Attorney General, so that in court, the arguments of the defense lawyers and then the arguments of the prosecutors will be heard in completeness. And then the judge would, you know, administer justice and say that, you know, for lack of evidence, for inappropriate arraignment or prosecution, or, you know, all the wrongs that the Attorney General saw. And for that reason, he did clearance, let me put it that way, because I'll borrow from the NDC, who used to say that our party was a clearing agent. So I worry in totality that if we keep doing this, we are sending very wrong signals, in the sense that if my party is in power, I'm emboldened to do all the wrong things because I will not be prosecuted.
But isn't that what the Attorney General is seeking to do in terms of fight, with his appeal against the decision of the courts?
I think it's a charade. And
Because he says he sees
and
merit in the decision to jail her in the first place.
So that's why I'm saying that I see this as a charade in the sense that there was the divorce, there was the Opuni case, and a number of superstar, quote-unquote, political related cases that he came out brazenly to clear them.
Because he said your administration could have concluded if indeed you had the evidence to basically impugn these people. But for years you were running these cases and you couldn't arrive at any.
So I wanted
judgment.
him to have had the judges arrive at that.
And not him.
And I think that being the Attorney General, he could have added a memorandum, or as it is, a note or a comment to the case in court and had the judges review their decisions as to continue or to close the cases. So I think that for me, he taking those decisions and then now coming back to his quote-unquote senses that we shouldn't be appearing to be clearing all NDC apparatchiks. And for that reason, it begs the question, why are we holding others to ransom concurrently for either administrative or clerical errors, you know? And are we doing this because, as for them, they are in the opposition party? So I think that, and I'm pleading with, you know, the entire legal fraternity that, listen, some of us are ordinary bystanders and we observe keenly. And we think that for the integrity of our judiciary services, for the integrity of the legal profession, they need to be a bit more careful in one prosecution and in one in even defense, so that we will have faith in our judiciary. We'll have faith in the enforcement of laws in this country. It should not be strictly, largely on party lines. Listen, I, for one, must admit that when Atufosin's case was handled personally, and this is not a party stand, I felt that for a deputy minister and for the supposed infringement that he was being taken to court, I thought it was erroneous. And this is me, an ordinary citizen, though MPP, I felt that it was erroneous. And you know, some of us registered our dissent on this matter, largely because we rather administer wrongful, let me say, prosecution. Now, is the NDC doing the same? And for that matter, is it because of the loudness of the corrupt, and now we get there and then it isn't? And listen, in my own experience with the Public Accounts Committee, when the Auditor General brings a report, it's so damning, so big in terms of some of the numbers that they throw out, 15 billion. But when you go into the merit of some of the cases, then you realize that, oh, listen, Mr. Attorney General, I think you are overblowing some of these things. And I say this with respect to, for instance, buildings that have been completed, but without the paperwork, and then the auditor will come and say that lost to the state, when in fact, brick and mortar are there. Or in this case, which Theophilus has put out clearly, eventually the vehicles were bought, and we even could track them. Do you get my point? So how do you then come and say that these were losses to the state? And it is even clear that some of the items were paid for in the MPP administration, though the paperwork leading to the deal was, before the MPP administration. So I think in all of this, one, the political class is not doing well. And I say that with respect to making damning claims of corruption, when sometimes, in all fairness and in all truthfulness, it is not the case. And I share with you my humbling experience with the Airbus, where, in all honesty, a lot of noise was made about the Airbus, controversy, only to arrive at a case where, we found out that some of the perceptions, in fact, most of the perceptions were wrong. So, one, the political class need to manage ourselves well. We are so quick to say that Kwame, Ama, whoever is corrupt, when in actuality, we don't have the evidence.
Right.
I'm out of government and I'm doing some projects, and sometimes I laugh a little bit because invariably, if I was in government, people would say, hey, he's using government money. In fact, I managed to, as it is, redo, my clinic lane over this weekend. And I spent quite a lot, doing it for the community and for my clients. And I was just laughing when it was all done that if I was in government and working on this road, people would say, oh, I'm using government money. You get my point. And they would even say, oh, thank you. But they would say you're using government money. So I was asking myself, now that I'm not in government and I'm doing this, what are the people going to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So I really think that, one, all of these, the hard lessons is that sometimes the people truly aren't corrupt. And I say this with respect to the entire political class. There are always bad apples. There will always be bad apples. Just like us when we went to school. We had some bad boys or some bad girls. But it doesn't mean that the entire university or the entire senior high school is bad. And I think that we are painting too much of a picture of politicians, and for that matter, government appointees being so corrupt. And let me say that sometimes the technocrats are even worse, but they are shielded because we don't go after them.
We don't vote for them.
Yes, and I'll rather turn the tides on this topic and rather encourage all people within the political class to ensure that their I's and T's are well taken care of in terms of making sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, so that when you are put up, you have cover. And I think that we also should be restraining in terms of calling out people as corrupt. If I had a lot of resources, trust me, I would go after people who are defaming politicians. And I think that the likes of Kodjo Ablakwa, Minister for Foreign Affairs, this might be the time to come out clean in terms of some of the pronouncements that they made. And one thing that tickles me a lot was this President baffing in there, and his commentary about private jets that the former administration used, and the fact that this administration equally has been using private jets. You see, whether it's from a brother, a cousin, or whatever, the key point here is that this administration has also been using private jet for His Excellency, and for all the things that he bastardized Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo with or for about using private jet. How can he then now turn a blind eye?
Right.
Or, for that matter, I think that we make little of very important things like the safety of the presidency, and all for political gain.
Now, so on today is the 3rd. On Thursday, council says he's spoken to you about it. He says, listen, your demonstration, yes, you have the right to demonstrate, but then it does not hold substance, and the date itself as well, quite troubling.
You see, there are two sides of this. Sometimes in politics, your dates are, informed by many other factors. I think that the NDC themselves have failed in the sense that these two key positions is rather sad that His Excellency has not filled Ministry of Defense and Environment Ministry for a year. I think that is even more serious. Don't worry about the demonstration. What is more serious to Ghana is the fact that we don't have substantive ministers for these very important ministries. For me, that is worrying. And I think that we should even incorporate that in our demonstration, that, His Excellency, in these times of wars all over the world, has chosen to not have a substantive minister for defense. Climate change is on us. We've seen floods, heavy amounts of rain, and the Environment Ministry, which is supposed to help us appreciate the fact that the climate change is affecting third world countries more so than the Western world, because we are not equipped. We are not, paying attention to the Ramses, site and all of these things, and that we need an environment minister to reiterate this in cabinet. You've literally left those positions vacant for a year. I think that is more damning. Which is more serious? That we are demonstrating that governance is not working well for the people? He should reconcile the two. Right. He should ask his president for a whole year. And I cry because though I'm not in the administration, I think that it has been very unfortunate that very powerful ministries, you even decide that the environment is not important. I think that our defense ministry, which we all know, looking at the neighboring countries, the coup d'etats, all the mishaps, the miscreants.
So for you, the date is very significant for you?
Well, I'm sure that when the date was being considered, maybe this, travesty or this tragedy, did not occur to the, committee. Okay, I think so. But it's been a number of days,
yes,
and it'll be very difficult to retract.
Okay.
I rather think that, for good intentions for this country, is also even a good date to register discontent with governance.
Okay.
And the discontent with governance is not just an MPP thing. Okay. In actuality, these 2 or 8 men died in line with Galamsey. And what are we seeing? Has it stopped? Have we remembered them in the appropriate way to stop Galamsey?
Okay.
Or is it still going on? Okay, I am hearing, huge amounts of gold still being taken out of the earth in many ways that are wrong. Have they died for nothing?
Okay.
So, Council, I really think that is rather also a call to duty, a call to good governance to the NDC, that, hey, if you think these administrative positions are very critical, then please replace them. Let us have substantive ministers, because the cloth of a substantive minister is different from an acting minister.
Okay.
And if you look at finance minister with all his burdens,
Supervising the ministry.
being the person supervising defense is worrying.
Okay. Council, I'll give you a final bite on this.
Yes, just a quick one. Let me help my colleague Ghana here. It is not. NDC didn't say MPP was a clearing party. He said the leader then. Nana Akufo-Addo was a clearing agent. Mr. Lomote. Let's get it clear.
Whether it is Nana or the party,
Nana was the clearing
it
agent.
comes back to the same.
not the party
And
itself.
writing love letters to say, I know by the time this comes up, you'll be clean. I mean, let's leave it down. Number two, you talk about the current Attorney General doing Nole Prosequi.
Yes.
You remember there was a certain gentleman, I understand he just married recently, called Gregory Afoko, who had been in jail almost 10 years. Yes, and when the Attorney General entered Nole Prosequi, went and arrested him again and charged him, and they went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says, the Attorney General has all the powers to enter Nole Prosequi. He is the monarch of all his surveys. By right, there's none to dispute. So leave him to enter the Nole Prosequi. My problem with the current Attorney General is that even though the law says that the Attorney General need not offer any explanation, Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayine, being the fine gentleman that he is, decided to offer explanation. That's my problem with him. Honorable Doctor, yes, sometimes
Because the law enjoins him to
be
do
quiet.
So without,
yes, but
right.
he wants to be open, he wants to let us all know, says this is the reason why I'm entering Nole Prosequi. I will entreat him that next time, don't tell us, let's all be in the darkness. But that is his style.
Right.
So I can't take that from him. Then, my brother, I also want to say that, you see, you prosecute based on certain things. Likelihood of achieving conviction on public policy grounds. Will it benefit the public? So if Honorable Dominic Ayine, having reviewed the evidence and says that we will not achieve any conviction, let us not spend money and time on this. There's nothing wrong with it. That's exactly what I said. If they had used similar yardsticks in the Sedina case, we would have come to a different conclusion. We just discussed off air that lawyers don't advertise, isn't it? Yes, but my brother Doc says that if he has money, he will take resources. Okay, money is part of the resources.
Yeah.
I don't know which other resources, maybe farmlands, cars, etc. If he has resources and time,
human capital is
and
also
time,
there.
yes, and time. No, you wait. I mean, you are jumping. You wait. I want to offer my human capital to him. Come and take me. We'll negotiate. I'll take on the people for you. But Okujeto Ablakwa, Honorable, our foreign minister and the rest, when they were talking, I believe they were enjoying parliamentary immunity. Number two, sometimes political statements, the courts describe them as mere puffs. They are like Tobe or Boflut. So, but beyond that, I love the way he addressed the Sedina issue today. That is why I'm always of the conviction for two things about Doctor here. One, he's a bad politician. Yes, I was told the same thing too. Because he's so nationalistic. Yeah. So he will be labeled. And I believe if he will tell us the truth, few might have told him in his face that you're a bad politician. You shouldn't have been here. But he was telling the truth. And people like me and generations, and there are people even within his party who will always respect him for that. Keep it up. Number two, he's in the wrong party. Yes. He's in
Which is the right party?
The obvious one. I mean, you know our slogan is the obvious choice. It has always been. So this one I don't have to...
You don't have to state it.
To state it. But you see, to have hounded Sedina the way we have done it, without evidence, and to have known, as he said, that the vehicles were there, they were procured, they were sold, distributed to MPP persons, it's quite bad. There's nothing to compare that to at all.
Well, Doc, your final bite on this, so we move on to other issues.
I think that we label the people as corrupt too early, too soon, and within the political class, I think it's becoming a bit too much. And people who are well-meaning and in local language, because Omabobra, to serve this nation, are wrongfully accused. And I think we need to look at that. That's a whole media discussion, a whole, debate, not to be disingenuous, but, look at the, the hotel saga with Dr. Brian Champon. Soon after the NEC comes into power, then I hear that truly the hotel needs, help. And I thought that was like ridiculous. This was the same quote-unquote administration. While I was in opposition, they were screaming that the place is self-sustaining and all of that, only for us to win power, quote-unquote, the NDC. And a few months later, these videos, they say a few moments later, a few months later, for us Ghanaians to hear that truly this hotel needed help. And I'm like, oh, Charlie, all of this for what? So I think that my plea to fellow Ghanaians, when you hear something about a politician, sometimes exercise restraint.
Isn't it the politicians who themselves blow these
well,
things for
well,
us?
that's why I'm saying that when they hear,
Yeah.
not all that are said are always true about politicians.
That's right.
And I'm sharing with you a key example of my experience with the Airbus and others. And I think that for all intents and purposes, some of the politicians are mostly wrongfully accused.
Yeah.
And I think that should you hear scandals, exercise some restraint. And I think the political class too, we need to up our game and be about real issues and not things that are for headlines and to make ill of people who are well-meaning and helping this country in terms of development. And I think that character assassination as a whole needs to be carefully looked at. And we should, take people through the appropriate courses. Granted freedom of speech, there's a thin line between freedom of speech and defamation. There's a thin line between freedom of speech and being insulted. And I really think that we should be decorous in the way and manner we discuss our things. And high-profile people, not like myself, I'm not high-profile yet, should push this agenda of making sure that when people are accused, the accusation actually holds water, and not mere instance of a few people trying to do this. The difference between our system a bit with the American is that prosecutors, their cases are reviewed by higher authority and sometimes by their peers to tell you that this case, per the profession, it is not proper.
You're not able to secure
We are lacking that in our country.
Right.
And if those checks are put in place, then it will not be about party lines. Okay? If I'm sure, quote unquote, if there were some association of prosecutors who would have sat on some of the political cases, they would have arrived at a point where they would tell you in confidence or in their quote unquote chamber that, listen, for the integrity of laws in this country, for the integrity of the Justice Department, withdraw these cases and let the politicians do what they want to do. But for us, for the purposes of Ghanaians having faith in the judiciary, you have to. For purposes of Ghanaians having faith in the law enforcement, some policemen, create evidence, and we know these are things that should not happen. They create evidence, and these are things that should not happen. So I'm deeply concerned.
Okay.
That as power tilts, our justice should not tilt. Okay.
Right.
The balance of justice should always be that scale, not colored by politics, and we all need to push for that.
Okay.
Because one day I may be on the other side or on the other side. And when you are there, you would wish and hope that justice being administered will be without coloration.
Right. And in terms of that, the Constitutional Review Committee has done some work. And I've spoken to people who have said that from what they see, the recommendations they see, the power that we sought to take from the executive has not been done. In fact, we've given even more power to the executive, and that's quite troubling for them. But what do you make of the reviews that have come up? For instance, we're saying that, well, presidents should have a 5-year term instead of a 4-year term because that's what the people are asking for. We sampled the views of people who said, no, this is not something that we want at all. If for anything, we should even be reducing the years for them. There are others who say that, well, the age limit for presidential aspirants now lowered to 35. Quite a number of people are happy with that. But what are your thoughts on what you've seen so far in terms of the review?
Well, I am of the school of thought that a 6-year single term is even okay for Africa.
Okay.
Okay, 6-year single term. Now, we spend so much on campaign in Africa, or let me be specific, in Ghana, for only 4 years. And I think that over the years, if you look at the quantum of monies used on advertisement alone for politics, this will quell it a little bit. And let me also admit that it is so unfortunate that we have this cultural situation where to even get a KVIP started, you have to haul a whole community to get a KVIP started. That Ghanaian thing of delaying and, you have to call this person, it makes our governance also a bit slow compared to the Americans or even the British. Look at how they just changed their prime ministers overnight, okay? We would have had a coronation service, and the coronation would have, cost so much. Let me even share with you Donald Trump's inauguration in a very small room, very limited guests, and then look at ours, where Mahama had numerous heads of state, okay, to the extent that there was even a security breach where one president carried a weapon onto the stage. So I really think that because of our cultural differences and the way Ghanaians are slow in terms of even our development and our administrative work, we are left without a choice of, doing these 5-year terms. And I think in 20 years of that would have saved a whole term in office. And as you well can see, we are in a situation where
Nutri-Snacks.
Government over here even replaced 2 ministers a whole year. So it makes it things grind a bit too slow, and for that matter, 4-year tenures are not enough. In fact, President Kufuor, after his 8-year run, even felt that he could have done so much more for Ghana. And I'm sure that his
Good morning. It's always exciting to come your way every Saturday morning, bringing you everything that has to do with sports. I always tell you that this show has come to stay. You know why?
Because we will be able to measure in a bit more complete way whether you're Shendema or you're Shendema. So I really think that but in all of this too, it's important that we are efficient as a country. If we are very in terms of the pace of development, or even in government, like I cited my only example, KVIP. Try doing KVIP through government. The number of signatures, the number of delays, red taping for just KVIP, it makes it quite understandable. But in all of this, we need to drive that message of efficiency, and that has no party color. And it's the civil service people who also have to up their game, and I really think that we need turbulent leaders who will hasten things. But either way, 5 years, and what we need to let Ghanaians know is that if the 5 years is not good, you better not add the second 5 year. So the bar for taking decision about an administration should be upped, so that you have a single 5 year term if you are not performing, and we dare not make a mistake of having a second 5 year for a bad performing leader.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Kodjo.
Kodjo, my views largely will not change the views of the president or the cabinet or the president's council that went into. I mean, by council, I mean the advice he was given.
Yeah.
But Kodjo, could you imagine 10 years under Akufo-Addo? God. 10 years? I mean, assuming we're in 2024, and we're being told there's one more year. Kodjo, I can't imagine it. That is my worry about this. You see, when I said this to a colleague, he turns around to tell me, can you imagine 10 years of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as it is now? And I said, when it is good, nobody complains.
Yeah.
I've heard arguments to the fact that they needed time to settle in. Oh, if it is not broken, don't fix it. You don't need any time to settle in. They can move on. But the party has accepted the recommendation. See, these recommendations have been there. This is like the second or the third one, all coming in and talking about President Kufuor, etc. But you see, when Obama was leaving office, he made a comment. He said, I wish I could continue. And if maybe he had contested that time, he may have still won. But he said, this is what we are.
That's how
limited
dad
to.
is. In this case, he's full, Felix. If we were talking about my mom, then it would be
I don't
different.
want to hear you talk about dad. Do you hear me?
Okay. Well, if you ever want to talk to someone, I'll always be here, Felix, because I'm your brother, your heart, your blood. It's okay, Felix. I won't talk. I'm going to stay quiet in total and utter
Listen to me.
silence.
Do you know if Antonia Fontalva's bridal dress arrived, a blonde woman like you, but a
Yes, that's my fear. The one that also worries me is the acceptance of the fact that certain seats in parliament will be given by proportional representation. Would they also be given the MP's common fund? Where would they go to develop? Their constituencies being the people they represent? Like if it's a disabled, you are representing the Ghana disability community or something, the common fund will be given to you to improve that. I try to get that. I mean, no matter where you are, when these things come up, try to be objective as much as possible. Then I also wondered, why do we have to even increase the constituencies? I was thinking we should rather shrink them. I was hoping to see more of the dividing or taking completely or redefining the role of the MP to be more of a legislator. But you see, they themselves to have put themselves up there.
Yeah.
Then the issue about the DCs, MMDCs being elected. Assuming that President Mahama is in government now, and Doctor is the MCE for Anyaso Utom area.
We'll work together.
That is why I say you are in the wrong party. You are a wrong politician too.
We'll work together for the development of the area.
You see, but some of your people will sabotage. They are already saying it when the tables turn, as if the table will be there until it will turn. We have taken even the table away when the tables turn. But I believe that there is wisdom in why the president and the counsel he received went into some of these things. So I want to say that let us try and experiment it and see. I think the one that worried me most about the whole of last week or last 2 weeks politics is the delegate system.
Yeah.
That's the one that worries me most. People thought that would remove money from or monocracy or monetization of the process. It is not true.
So you also don't believe that it's going to reduce monetization? You believe
No.
It's rather going to worsen the problem?
It's going to worsen it. Could you have tried the two? Contested twice in both that one and the delegacies. And I can tell you that, Kodjo, you go to a village, let's say, particularly the inception stage, you go to a village where, let's say, you have 500 people. And they were aware that in that village there used to be 10 people or 9 people that you used to give them 100 cedis. And they are now telling you that we need a new KVIP before we come out to vote. Okay? We need chairs or seats for our classroom before we come out to vote. If it were those 10 or 9, you wouldn't have been spending on KVIP or that, or the chairs and tables. Then they are telling you that we were aware you used to give them 100 cedis. Now we are plenty. Just give all of us to 10. That will happen. That will happen. And when that happens, and humans as we are not like yam, where you see this one and say this is puna, or this is just white yam. No. They will tell every politician that will come to the village that same thing. Perhaps the big towns, maybe those are the areas that people will not, but even then, when you are going to all these communities, you want to go through the chiefs, they will put their requests before you, you do all this. No, it will not reduce it. But the good thing is, the other question I want to ask is, now who sent all these people to go and do all these things for us? We are okay with our system. We are managing it. Who sent them?
Now, we've been asking for a constitutional review.
No, the constitutional review, I agree. You see, the constitution, the problem, Ghana's development issues have to do as well with our constitution. The constitution was made with certain things in mind. And with certain people boycotting the legislative assembly, it also helped and strengthened the arms of certain people to go some way. But when President Kufuor came in and realized that it was sweet, he did nothing about it until he was going. And under the Fourth Republic, no president has used executive power stronger than, complete for me, Nana Akufo-Addo, not even Rawlings. Stronger. A person who can tell chiefs, get up and greet me. I mean, who can tell you, go and tell that person to...
Today you're on the former president. We have a new presidency.
No, I said, I prefaced something, I said it earlier, Doc, that when it is nice, nobody complains about it. Doctor, when you go to your service now and they are delivering, customer care is good, nobody will give you concerns about customer care. But when somebody goes there, excuse my tree, that kind of expression, which is old, look, they will come to you and say, tell your people that this time you can even be touching us before you do the panel, will not fail it, etc. Yeah, but we cannot move into the future if we don't know where we are coming from. Right. Yes. So for me, the Constitution, yes, it needs a review. That's why I'm saying that the council that went into advising the president on what we need to do, I think they must be flawless, which I will appreciate. But as a person, I have issues with certain aspects. And you see, we are only picking the very little one. Yeah. There's so many constitutional things that we need to look at. I pray that after this, the Constitution will grow for like maybe another 50 years before we'll be thinking about amending. Because constitutions grow with the people. Because it embodies the aspirations and the desires of the people. So I think that we should allow it to grow again before we ever think about touching it. My appeal to MPP is the NDC that is in government now. They have commissioned the review commission. They have reviewed. They brought recommendations. Join us. Let us implement them.
Right. Doc?
Yes. Well, in summary, I've always felt that my constituency, if I'm well-resourced, I could do more and better. So it's not a matter of splitting a constituency like Kanya Soto. And for that reason, I would agree that having 300 seats in Ghana won't make sense. You know, in other jurisdictions, let's take even the Brits themselves. I mean, they've have maintained literally the same number of seats for a long time. So, you know, the argument should have been that, you know, based on population, some constituencies will have quadruple or double the resources to match the needs on the ground.
Okay.
Rather than necessarily split it. You can split a constituency like Anyanso Otom into two, and the two halves will not be as effective as quadrupling the resources going to the constituency.
Right.
This one, you are going to literally double the resources, but really what they might need is rather a quadrupling, and then affairs will be managed better. So, you know, but this one, well, it's a cap at 300, which also doesn't mean that then necessarily Mr. Speaker with others will rush to do gerrymandering and for that matter split some constituencies and make baby constituencies out of others. So it begs the question, what is the ultimate thing? Is it that we want to develop certain areas? Moving the capital, and mind you, Japan is doing that now. There's going to be a new Tokyo soon. They are moving their capital to another place, which makes that administratively growth will be moved towards one end.
Too, yeah.
That decision should be coming soon, where I think that the seat of government or the capital of this country should move so that urbanization will move to maybe Akosombo. I'm just cited as an example.
Yeah.
Or in Sawim. I don't know. You know, so these are some of the things that we should be thinking about. And I think that would help us more so than some of these skirmishes. Let me put it that way. Some of these skirmishes.
Right. So my guest this morning, Dr. Dixon Adumakukisi, former Member of Parliament for Anyanso, he's a medical doctor as well, and Theophilus Jimega Jr. He is a private legal practitioner and a mining engineer and a member of the NDC's legal directorate and the communications team. We'll take a breather here. When we come back, we'll be talking about the Cocoa Board Bill, the new Cocoa Board Bill that is giving about 70% of FOB price to the farmers. It is split heads. We'll come back and talk about that. First review segment of GA Today on GHOne Television. And my guest, Theophilus Jumega, he is a paralegal practitioner, also a member of the NDC's Legal and Communications team, and Dr. Dixon Adumakunkisi, former member of Parliament for Anya Soutum. And before we went on that break, I told you that we'll come back and talk about the new Cocoa Board bill that Parliament has passed. And indeed, it's raised quite a number of concerns as well. And I would like to start with the former member of Parliament because, yes, he's been at these things. He knows how these things go in Parliament, especially when they have to stay very late into the night to get these things done. Doc,
yeah,
the new Cocoa Board bill.
Well, I think that we've not done enough for cocoa industry in this country. And I'm of the opinion that considering the value that cocoa adds to Ghana, we've rather not done enough. This bill attempts to correct some of the wrongs and to empower some of our cocoa farmers. Granted, it also takes away some of the liberties they had, to the extent that I am hearing that a farmer cannot even consider changing his farm from cocoa to something else. I think those restrictions are a bit excessive. Restricting a farmer who decides that, okay, revenues or challenges in the supply chain are terrible. Should I decide to go into cashew nut, I'll have a problem. So I think that should be looked at carefully. If the incentives are good, then any farmer changing from cocoa to something else will find it more, will not be as interested in doing that if the incentives are rather good. So it's a bit paternalistic. That's how I see it, and should be looked at. And I also think that changes to people up the chain is more important when it comes to Cocoa Board, in the sense that hardly would you see a farmer enjoying plush cars as the executives do.
Yeah.
And I think that is worrying. And it is so sickening that farmers, their own children are not even getting the scholarships, and rather the executives are the ones enjoying the scholarships for their children. So I was thinking that these changes do not even require a bill. It is a culture change within the administration of the Cocoa Board.
Right.
Cocoa Clinic, what is its status now? How many farmers are even attended to a Cocoa Clinic? Go to Tatakwashi Memorial Hospital, which is supposed to be, quote unquote, one of the cocoa industry players. And I say this because of my experience in healthcare. It should have been one of the topmost institutions of health in this country, in honor of all the revenue we get from cocoa. But go and see the infrastructure, the equipment at either Cocoa Clinic or, as it is, Tatakwashi Memorial. So these do not require, quote unquote, a bill.
Okay.
It is more of a matter of leadership and then direction and a decision to change the culture within, where the farmers truly are the beneficiaries more than the executors. And, the delays in their payment, is that going to change? When you sell your cocoa beans, are you getting your money within 90 days? Are you getting your money within 60 days? I think that does not need a bill.
Yeah.
It is. So when you do all of this and you still go for huge quantums of loans at the expense of the producers, the farmers, that's why I worry. I'm told that none of our farmers watch the World Cup. It would have been nice. I'm not making a joke out of it, but it would have been nice to have those kinds of benefits where cocoa farmers or their children could have also enjoyed some of the niceness in this country. Even cocoa roads.
Yeah.
we redirect cocoa roads to other places where not a single grain of cocoa can be found. So respectfully, I think that the bill does not address that true need of a cultural change where the farmers are at the top and then the executives literally are serving the farmers. That paradigm shift is not displayed in this bill.
Okay.
It is rather a paternalistic one where the rights and privileges of the farmers have not, I think, been truly attended to. So more work needs to be done.
Right.
And the incentives should be rather apt so that a farmer, there are videos out there. Some are galamseying on their farms now because they'll tell you that he's been doing cocoa farming for X amount of years, but galamsey has changed his life, which means that if you want more people to go into cocoa farming, then you need to give them all the retooling, all the necessary assistance. And in all of this too, Thomas should hear me from his engineering perspective. I have the economic...
Theophilus, you mean?
Theophilus, sorry. I don't know why I keep calling him Thomas. Theophilus should hear me out.
Because he keeps doubting you are in the right party.
That's why I keep changing his name. He's a doubting Thomas. So I think that from economics of scale, we should industrialize the farming so that we farm acres. I was in Europe observing tomato farms. We don't have similar in our country, where we can boast of huge acres of cocoa with industrial equipment doing the job, rather than these small pockets. So this bill should have addressed that.
Okay.
Where government will do that monumental thing of combining so that we'll have, if it's Front Plains or wherever, or Western North, which is a disaster now in terms of mining, cordon off areas that will be strictly used for cocoa farming, and in large scale farming, not in cocoa inkiti type farming, but major industrialized cocoa, so that we'll have one of the biggest acreage in the world when it comes to a farm that you go to. And mind you, students would have gone there to see how cocoa farming is done. Ceremonial. We need a rebirth of the original Tetekwashi, to let us enjoy. We don't even have a cocoa house in this country where we can go and enjoy cocoa drinks of varied types, dark chocolate, blah, blah, blah. Excursion for cocoa. Where would you go as we sit here? So, and this bill also doesn't even address that. So, dear Mr. CEO, I'm putting this across that it would be nice to have a cocoa house in this country where, students can go on excursion, see the whole process of cocoa to chocolate, and also moved from...
But that's what the CPC does?
When I say cocoa house, I mean, where students will travel to go and see these things. And then more importantly, one thing that is missing, how we reduce export of the beans and rather do the Dangote thing of doing chocolate in Ghana.
Well, this administration has said that they want to retain about 50% of the beans and then put in place mechanisms
saying. They've also said 24-hour economy. They've said all kinds of fanciful things. We want action more than words.
Okay.
And this one, respectfully, I mean, it's a true, change in paradigm, if they can, where we reduce the beans being exported. So that's what I want to see.
Okay.
And we don't necessarily need a bill for that to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kodjo.
Well, when this government came in, one of the things that the MPP was looking for to use in staining the government was cocoa prices. And this new bill is saying that the farmer going forward is guaranteed 70% of the world market free on board price, minimum. So that cuts the idea about propaganda, whether you are supposed to pay 1,000, you have to pay 2,000, you have to pay 6,000. No. Now the farmer knows that if it is $1,000 per ton on the FOB, I am guaranteed $700 per ton. Simple. Everybody understands it. If the price goes high, the farmer knows that nobody will cheat me. No libi, no awam. I'll get my portion. You see, the good thing about the current NDC administration is that's why I say, hey, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, God bless you. If these things continue, MPP will be dismantled. I'm telling you. And if God also blesses it nicely. Now, he talked about, there's something in the bill that talks about the pension scheme for cocoa farmers, which hitherto had not been there.
I said scholarship.
Yes, it's also, yes, I mean, welfare scheme. Yeah. So it captures that.
All right.
But let me also say something. People are commenting on the bill with the fact that it talks about when you cut your tree. There has been a long time. There's the Economic Tree Protection Act of 1979. That talk about the fact that if you cut economic tree, it's an offense, blah, blah, blah. It has been there long ago. Maybe it's just been properly redone again into new act. It is not today's thing. It's been there.
So it's not a new phenomenon?
It's not a new phenomenon. It's been there.
Okay.
Economic Trees Protection Act, 1979. I'll look for it. But if you Google it, you'll find it. It's been there. So there's no new law to criminalize the cocoa farmer from trying to say that I will not farm again. I mean, you've seen videos where people have cocoa farms with trees bearing fruit, etc., and they begin to cut them that it's my own thing I want to cut. It doesn't happen in developed countries like that. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So let us align as well. Then you see the bill has stopped the situation where you go for loan, buy cocoa beans, sell, chop the rest of the money, wait for next year, go for loan, buy cocoa beans, chop the rest of the money. He wants me not to refer to them, but permit me once more to refer. The economy was so bad that even the people who will give us loan for us to buy the cocoa beans and give them their money back said, no, they won't give us. The economy was so bad that you are aware that definitely there will be cocoa from Ghana. Give them money. Then after that, take your money. But because we have defaulted, we have told the world that yen tuya. Then we have told them also that yen to mean tuya. Two things we have told them, yen to mean tuya, yen tuya. So they were not willing to give us loan. But this current one is saying that all the money has to be internally sourced. And we have to make provision for the following year, so that when we get some money, we don't chop all. We reserve some to use in topping up and buying next year. That is what we have now. The bill is far-reaching.
Okay.
Now, the bill also says that 50% of the produce should be processed in Ghana. So if we are processing 50% of the produce in Ghana, all we are saying is that we want to create jobs and we want to have a certain expression that Nana Akufo-Addo used to use, which meant nothing to him, value addition, which led to the establishment of one district, one factory. Now we say we want to add value to the cocoa beans before we export them. I agree with him. I have an intern in my office. Went to Volta region, came back and said, TK, I saw cocoa. I saw cocoa beans all over. He has never seen before. Yes, I agree with him. We should have cocoa house, something like that. Yeah. But you see, some of these things, they end up being just for the elite and those in Accra, Kumasi. That is the situation. Somebody in Lakanti, Bontibo, Ayomakute, in Oti region, etc., who are farming, might be asking himself or herself, be taking the ride all the way down to Accra or Kumasi for Cocoa House.
There's no need
Yes.
for Kwame Nkrumah's mausoleum
Yes.
if you think along those lines.
No.
You get my point.
Kwame Nkrumah's mausoleum is once in a while. We are talking about an identifiable group, which we are talking about cocoa farmers.
Yeah.
We are talking about an identifiable group. I'm only asking you the modality for which we will have it. Because people keep complaining about some of these things, that the cocoa farmer doesn't do this, cocoa farmer doesn't do this. I want to also say one thing about the cocoa roads are in areas where there is not a single bean of cocoa. For crying out loud, we are not practicing federalism here. That's not what we are practicing. There are people who will never drink even Fanta, let alone talk about drinking alcohol. Yet there's tax on alcohol that is used in developing where they are. Okay? They will never drink anything. Yet tax is collected and used to on the drinking that some of us drink, be it Fanta, be it alcohol, and used to develop their place. So the idea that sometimes they use cocoa roads in areas where there are no cocoa, I mean, I think that we are overstretching it. Right. We are all in a situation where we don't practice federal states in Ghana. What we practice in Ghana is not federalism.
Right.
So we should allow wherever the development is coming from, that development must be spread to all of us.
Very well.
Finally, I also want to say that the idea where people smuggle their cocoa beans, etc., is also supposed, this incentive is supposed to make that reduce.
Okay.
So because there's a reason for you to sell your cocoa here. So there's no need for you to export your cocoa. If you export your cocoa, what for? Or you smuggle your cocoa, what for? You can sell it here and make more money. However, there could be a situation where it could come from the other side. But that is not the topic for discussion today. So let's leave it.
Absolutely.
So I think the bill is far-reaching. It has a lot to do for us.
Right. Well, I'm sure that in the coming days we'll be having further conversations on the bill as well. I'm grateful for your time this morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming. Dr. Dixon Adomakonkisi, former Member of Parliament for Anyaso, he's a medical doctor as well. And then Theophilus Jimega, he's a paralegal practitioner, a mining engineer, and a member of the NDC's Legal Directorate and Communications team. So I'm sure next week, God willing, we'll be here and have more conversations. And then happy birthday in advance to Dr. Dixon Adomakonkisi's mother, Mrs. Kisi. Thank you so much for giving us such a wonderful asset to this country as well. Well, we'll take a breather. When we come back, we've got more for you on the show. Stay with us. Staying on with us, and my next conversation is one I'm excited about, and it's because last year when we met, it was sparks all over, and I'm excited to have her back on the show. And that's one of the things that we do here. We make sure that we keep up with the things and the people that are doing great things to change how our communities get to move along, especially people that are differently abled for various reasons as well, and how we can build a more inclusive society. And I love the passion that she brought to the studios last year. This year she's here again, and I'm loving this even more. Jennifer Bonzi is here with me this morning, and she is the founder and president of Vigilo Mobility Foundation. And Jennifer, I'm super excited to see you this morning.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing very well.
I am well.
And you look very well too.
Oh, thank you. The body doesn't feel like that, but
really,
I'll take it.
Okay, well, you're glowing, and I love to see that because I know the work you do in terms of the foundation. But for those who are watching us for the very first time, how do you introduce the foundation to them as to what work you focus on?
All right. So my name is Jennifer Mensah Bonzi. I am a global project manager of JP Morgan Chase, a small group that helps employ individuals with different types of disability into the workforce to broaden our employment, disability, inclusion, and diversity slate. I am a wife, a mother of 3 kids, a daughter of an elderly woman, and the proud founder of Vigilo Mobility Foundation. Don't ask me how I do it, because I don't know myself.
Because you wear so many caps.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people are wondering how you're able to blend all of this. But let's focus on the foundation, Vigilo Mobility Foundation.
Right.
How did it all start for you?
So I was diagnosed at the age of 3. In Ghana, back in those days, for many years, I did not think I could contribute to society. The first 3 years of my diagnosis, I was admitted at the Orthopedic Training Center. This is a center that is built to help individuals with different types of disabilities. They have a facility on ground that they build prosthetics and other stuff. There, I made meaningful relationship with the founder, Brother Tesasius the Rider. May his soul rest in peace. And his then assistant, Reverend Sister Elizabeth Newman. They built my faith and made me kind of change my mind a bit about what I could do to contribute to society. Fast forward, I relocated to the United States in the mid-90s. Then the American culture changed my story. So all the boxes that I thought I could never check, marriage, children, career, all is checked. So I'm at a point of paying it forward, coming back to help the community that raised me, and that is the birth of Vigilo Mobility Foundation.
So it's born from your personal experience?
Yes.
And when you look back, you were able to live in the mid-90s, but for persons who still stayed on the continent of Africa, not just Ghana, what are some of the challenges that when you look back, you realize these are barriers to people achieving or ticking these boxes that you were able to tick?
I'll tell you what. 1, mobility, accommodation, accessibility, employment, inclusion. If we can do this, transportation, pay me $1 million, it will be hard for me to get on a trotro.
Yeah.
Now, I try to, I'm working, I have my income, I'm going to donate to Tamale, Kumasi. You get on the aircraft, there is no lift that takes you there. Yeah. So how then do you move around? I have nothing to do in Kumasi. I go there just to donate stuff, but the aircraft is not accessible. I think all these stuff. This morning I was listening to the news and they were talking about the government had promised, I think, 5% of recruitment for the physically challenged community or individuals living with challenges.
Yes.
And in that 5% should equal about 350, right? 200, which is less than the 350, applied. None was hired. How can we move? And I'm really pleading. Move them from their houses. Include them. Let diversity reign. We can do it. It's not hard. You know, somebody just start it and others will follow. I see a lot of beautiful buildings coming up. Tall buildings. Is there anything like America that we have ADA? Is there a department that is insisting that with these new buildings, even if we failed or did not pick up the mark in the past, are they accessible?
Yeah.
Is there an elevator? Or are we just thinking that the physically challenged or people living with different types of challenges are just going to be sitting by the roadside begging for money so they can never be able to afford these buildings or get on an aircraft? Please, let's do something.
It is very important that we build a very inclusive society, our buildings and all of these places. And I've heard people even talk about, there was a time that it even happened in Parliament where we were asking whether our Parliament is disability friendly. So yes, it's a national conversation now, but let's talk about the work you do with Visual Mobility Foundation. What do you do? Which areas have you been since the last time you came here?
Okay, so Visual Mobility Foundation is on a mission to advocate, educate, and also make sure no one, due to poverty, is not mobile. If you can move someone from home to school, they can learn. If you can move them from home to work, they can work. So let disability then be redefined or re-explained that is the lack of accessibility and mobility. If we are all going to the first floor and I'm given a ramp, I can get there. If you are able to walk, you can get there. Now let's get to the first floor and let there be a math question. 1 + 1, and Jennifer cannot answer. 1 + 1, and you cannot answer. Let's see the diversity there. But get me to where I need to get to. Now, that is one. Number two, given that Orthopedic Training Center is my home, where I spent my first 3 years, right? There are so many children there who are abandoned because they have a disability.
Right.
It is my thing to make sure they go to school. So their tuition is paid by Visual Mobility Foundation. Their medical bills are paid by Visual Mobility Foundation. Of course, we can't pay it all, but for the funds that we raise, we are able to make sure they are comfortable. And we pay their food, we bring them food items. This year, we brought them about 150 bags of rice. And we turn around and help other areas like Weja Leprosarium, Cape Coast Government Hospital, Komfanochi Teaching Hospital. All these places I'm talking about arrived on the 19th of July. These places are visited. We went to the University of Legon, students living with different types of challenges. We did donate, is a 10 bag of rice, and then, I think 60, let's see. Yes, 60 mobility devices to them. So yes, we've been on the run.
Yeah.
We are working and just making sure at least we put a smile on individuals' faces, just so poverty does not stop them from,
Very important.
Yeah.
But these devices, this mobility devices, equipment, they cost so much.
Oh, yeah.
These things you donate cost so much. I mean, you must be very rich.
I wish. So yes, I'm not very rich, but we do have a few donors in the United States who donate to us annually. And trust me, we are looking forward to, organizing a fundraising event in Ghana. It's not nice that I gather all the funds from the US and then I come to help my country. So I'm looking forward to, organizing a fundraising event in Ghana where we can also raise some funds to, help these individuals. So if you're watching out there and you care enough for the living and also, think of how we can make the world an inclusive place and believe in our cause, we invite you to reach out to us. And, let's see how we can make the world an inclusive place. We can take your donations, we can take your support, we can take your, motivation, So please, let's make it happen.
Definitely. And before we wrap up the conversation, we'll let you put out the numbers or how people can reach you to also support. Because it's very important, like you mentioned, that in as much as we're getting help from elsewhere, it's more sustainable if we're raising that help from within. But then I'm sure for all these years you've been doing this, there should be certain stories that when you remember keeps you going despite the challenges. Because I know that it's not easy to raise funds for causes that are very important like this. And so, can you share some of those stories with me?
Sure. One that is on top of my mind is a lady, for security reasons, I might not mention her name, but a lady who has 4 children. 2 of her children are cerebral palsy patients. Never been able to afford a cerebral palsy wheelchair. She keeps these children sharing one very used, I wouldn't even call it a wheelchair, but like, I don't know what to call it, and supports it with pillows, right? Wow. She reached out to us last year. We came to her live and we bought her 2 cerebral palsy wheelchairs. Wow. Today, instead of the children knowing the chest of their mother and their siblings and dad, they are able to sit comfortably in a cerebral palsy, wheelchair. When we came this year, we went to do a follow-up, gave her some rice, and then, gave her some funds that she can keep up with, the taxi fares and stuff to take the children to the hospital to be checked.
Wow. And I'm watching the videos on the screens, and the joy and the laughter and the fulfillment that comes with things like this. Like you mentioned, to be able to just transport one person from one place to the other, that's what this is all about. Because sometimes that's the real barrier and not what the person's condition is. If the society is able to provide avenues for these things like this. So talk to me about how people can reach out to you, because what we are seeing is something that is really phenomenal. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are also willing to support this cause. How do they do so?
So they can reach out to us on WhatsApp, 740, I'm not sure what the code, I think +1, right? Yes. Yeah, 740-764-2303 on WhatsApp. And then on Instagram, they can get us on at Vigilo_Mobility_Foundation. On Facebook, they can get us on Vigilo Mobility.
Right.
Once you write to us, we will attend to you. If you need an email, it is vigilo614@gmail.com.
So make sure that you're looking them up on social media, getting in touch. And if you're a company that has these devices as well, you want to partner them to be able to get it to the people that need them. You want to support in cash, you want to support in kind, whatever it is, whatever support you want to give to Vigilo Mobility, just look them up on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, and the WhatsApp number that they gave us there. If you're forgetting the number, once you type Vigilo Mobility on Instagram, I'm sure that you'll be able to connect with them and also send a mail so that we can make things happen for these beautiful people out there. So, Jennifer, as we wrap up the conversation, what will be your final words this morning?
My final words would be great thank you to EIB. EIB is EIB something.
Network.
EIB Network.
Yes.
Okay. Hot FM. Queen Med in the US. Orthopedic One in the US. And let's all leave the screen. Moving out there. Breaking down barriers. Breaking down barriers. Removing stigmas. Making sure we are gearing towards making the world an inclusive place for all. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming. And God bless your heart for this great initiative that you've taken upon yourself to do. And here at EIB Network, we are also always available to lend support. So that's Jennifer Bonzi. She's the founder of Vigilo Mobility Foundation. And please look them up on social media, get in touch with them, connect with them, and see how you can also be a blessing to someone out there. She says if you care enough for the living, that's what you should be doing. Let's not wait for people to die, and then we throw huge funerals and celebrate them. We'll be right back after this break. But before we do... August 2026, some wonderful people celebrating their birthdays, and so it's my duty to help make their days a lot more special. This one says, Happy birthday, Mummy. God bless your new age. Meeting you was never a regret in secondary school. Cheers to long life, happiness, money, and good health. I love you so much, and it's from your daughter, Na, to you. And a happy birthday to Nene Tete Nano Ujiji II, who is founder and CEO of GHOne Homes. Under your leadership, GHOne Homes and Family has grown into a trusted name in real estate, Airbnb, and business development. Your vision is unmatched and your commitment admirable. God bless your new age. And this is from the entire GHOne Homes family and from Sang as well. To you, wishing you the very best. Nene, God bless you so much. And this one, happy birthday to a woman who carries grace and fire in her womb. Your love for God and His people is enviable. May this new year bring you great grace, increase on every side, and blessings beyond your imagination. God bless you so much, Mrs. Eugenia Yapukia Tete Otu. This is the woman whom my second daughter is named after because she's fantastic, she's phenomenal, and she's the one who forced me to start teaching in church, and now I have no regrets at all. So happy birthday to you, Allah, Superintendent 1. Yeah, folks, God bless your new age. So more blessings and birthday celebrations. Nene, happy birthday to you, Nene Tete Nano Ojiji II, who is the chief of New Somanya and is known in private life as Curtis Tete Jabba, founder and chief executive officer of GHOne Homes and Family. And so this is from the team. They say they are proud to be associated with you, and we also stand on those protocols, wishing you the very best of the day, sir. And this one, listen, if you enjoy Legacy Coffee, if you enjoy the Divine Choice toothpaste, if you enjoy the hot chocolate, the reishi extract powder, and all the products that come from Legacy Life Choice Limited, this is the man you should be thanking. Divine, yesterday was his birthday, the 2nd of August. So a glorious belated birthday wish to the CEO of Legacy Life Choice International, Divine Komla Jakpa. You're a true example that the youth of Ghana are up to the task. Your leadership, selflessness shines bright, and your kindness remains worthy of commendation. So as you celebrate a new chapter, my brother, may God bless you with more wisdom and grace to impact your generation and beyond. This is from me, and this is from the entire Legacy Life Choice International team to you. CEO 1, God bless you, my brother, and may He cause you to shine very, very, very bright. So more birthdays. May God give you peace. And on your special day and the year ahead, we appreciate your selfless service to the brand and the nation. Happy birthday to you, Achre. And this from the entire Diamond Winds Band, Air Force Base, Burma Camp here in Accra. So still on the birthday wishes, wishing you a birthday filled with warm memories, sweet moments, and delightful surprises. May your birthday be filled with love, joy, and countless blessings. You deserve every bit of it. Happy birthday, Sarah. And this is coming from your brother, Joe, wishing you a happy, stupendous birthday. Definitely. Happy birthday to you, Corporal Sheila Yeboah. Your hard work, unwavering dedication to duty, and sense of professionalism you exude in the discharge of your responsibilities as a court warrant officer do not go unnoticed. On this special day, we wish you long life, good health, and greater heights and service. And it's from El Capitano, Mutala Inusa, and all of us here at the EIB Network, GH1 Television, and Star FM. Wishing you the very best of the day. Right, so if it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. God bless you so much and bring you all the things that your heart so much desires. We'll take a breather. When we come back, we'll be talking about something really exciting and interesting as well. Studio by some wonderful young people, and they're representing Ablekuma. What's the Ablekuma code? Like, so Tema, they say TM. Ablekuma is what?
ABK.
Hey, it means I'm poor, So we're talking about Miss Ablekuma 2026, and the man Copper is here with me. Copper, what's good, bro? Charlie, you're looking like $1 million this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. So talk to me about Miss Ablekuma. What's the concept about?
Okay, so in Ablekuma, it looks like on the map we have a loud name, and this name only gives people like a sort of shihelemo, as in
awakening.
Yes, awakening.
That's right.
So when you say I live in Ablekuma, hey my guy,
Yeah,
you be tough guy. You
yeah,
know, that kind of.
You know, I used to live in Ablekuma. I got picked up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am in Ablekuma New Town.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah. So I've been there, and the kind of media experience that I have, I would have to put together something for the community. So my firm, which is CD House, is a 360 creative firm, and one of our programs is the Miss Ablekuma.
Right.
Yes. So this is actually here to help the community. If I should say to help, I live there, and I can see a lot of, issues that we can fix ourselves.
Right.
Yes. So I decided to create the platform, putting everybody, every business person, every big man, any elder in Ablekuma on this platform, like creating the platform for them to address the community. Yes.
Fantastic. I like this, but let me speak to the ladies. Hi, your name, and then which part of Ablekuma do you live? Abase. Oh, okay, I know that place. So, what's your name?
I'm Emanuela Neti.
Emanuela, what does this mean to you?
So to me, this means we are different families, different streets, but one people. When one person rises, all of us rises.
Charlie, you look like somebody who puts everybody together. Let's give the microphone to her. Introduce yourself and what does Miss Ablekuma mean to you?
My name is Tracy Temakulu.
Tracy, right.
Miss Ablekuma means unity and peace to me. We are coming together here.
Hey, sheesh. I like that, Tracy. Yes, you?
I'm Pearl Boame.
Okay.
Yes, and this Ablekuma, Miss Ablekuma is showing us our beauty and also bringing us together and showing the culture out.
Okay. Yes, dear.
So my name is Marina Lamte.
Okay.
I live in Ablekuma Cave.
Oh, Kev, Charlie, where the things are. Kev, there are plenty things are. My shawarma joint be quite in the corner there. So, what does Miss Ablekuma mean for you?
It means you expressing what is in you out and letting everybody know that unity is involved.
Allah, I like that. How about you? She has a microphone, so let's give the microphone to the... Yes, your name?
My name is Bernice Ntiamwa Ejiku.
Okay, Bernice. Right.
To me, Miss Ablekuma would say is a form of preserving a culture and coming together to support each other for the development of the community.
Okay. What about you?
My name is Chelsea Nyemingo More.
Nyemingo?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, Chelsea, what does Miss Ablekuma mean to you?
It means unity in diversity.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we come to the diversity part, we are together, like we are different areas, but we are one family. So we help to build Ablekuma together and we support each other.
Fantastic. Now, Kopa, listening to all of them, one thing runs through: unity. What is it about unity that you are preaching with Miss Ablekuma?
Okay, so the theme of the project or the Miss Ablekuma is Ablekuma Bond. To explain it, we have unity, culture, and beauty. Yes, so on that day, they are going to express themselves more in that. And Ablekuma actually needs this explanation.
Absolutely.
That Bond, Ablekuma needs it. And so we've got, backings from the MCE, Nisoto, just to mention few.
Right.
The list is more.
Endless,
yes.
absolutely.
And they have actually involved in this, and there is this guy, Ralph, which I think I will have to mention his name. He's a top guy. He's actually helping.
Fantastic.
And I think this is actually the first edition.
Okay.
And we are actually assembling everybody.
Like
and on the 5th of August, this Wednesday.
Coming to. When is it happening? Where is it happening? How do I get to be a part of it?
Yes, on the 5th.
Okay.
Which is Wednesday. Some may say Wednesday is an off day, sort of. It's starting at 7 p.m. And Wednesday is the Homowo week. On Saturday, the Ablekuma elders will want to celebrate Homowo. And then on the Saturday, we will want to present our beauty queen. So we decided to host this on
before.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And there are activities that is covering the whole week.
Okay.
From Monday, which is today.
Yes.
So Wednesday is the beauty.
And where is it happening?
It's in Ablekuma Park, the St. Justin School.
Okay.
It's a St. Justin Anglican school. So when you say, even when you're in church and you are like Ablekuma Park, the reason why that junction is Ablekuma Park is the school. Which is St. Justin Anglican School.
Fantastic.
Yes, 7 p.m.
And how do I get to be a part? Can I just walk in? Do I have to pay for a ticket? Talk to me about the modalities.
We are looking forward for supporters still.
Okay.
This is our first edition, so it is almost free. But when you get there and you can support, you can.
Right.
We have also some tickets which are for other purposes, which is like 20 Ghana to support.
Oh, but that's too cheap.
Yes.
Yes,
we are not in for the dough.
Absolutely.
We actually want to have this platform and project. So we want it to be that 20 Ghana for everybody to come. That's why I'm saying we are not charging.
I like that. And you know what? I know too many people here who live in Ablekuma. If you go to the newsroom, Ablekuma be so production. Ablekuma. Oh, Charlie.
So you see, we have a lot in there, and we need to change the perception.
One person is very close to Kev. When you pass the corner, now she's there. Yeah. So definitely, it's Miss Ablekuma happening on the 5th of August, And it's at 7 p.m., you say?
Yes.
At the St. Justin Anglican School Park. Once you get there, it's going to be a wonderful production. And if you know Copper, you know it's about creativity. Charlie, it is for there for you. So you know that it's going to be a production that you cannot miss out on. But ladies, final words to all of you, and what you want to tell people for them to know that they have to be there on Wednesday. And if you are winning, let them know if you are winning. Let me start with you. Yemingo, I remember that name. Yes.
Okay, so.
Your final words.
My final.
Yes.
Let them support you.
Okay, so I'm a contestant here, so I need your support to like come and educate yourself. Just have fun and then sit down at the backstage and then look at me perform because I'm bringing the crown home to Ablekuma town. Yeah.
Okay. To you, she has a microphone, so pass it on. Yes. Bernice?
I want to
Yes.
help viewers watching right now to know I'm a representative for the Ablekuma Papaya and, of course, the Apostolic Church Ghana. So please, you all should fasten your seatbelt and watch me on the faith. Join me, in fact, join me on the faith as I carry the crown. To the church, of course, and to the whole area.
Nice
Thank
one.
you.
Right, yes?
So what I want to say is that all those in Ablekuma, Kev and anywhere watching me, I'm inviting you to the Miss Ablekuma 2026. Please come and support me so that I carry the crown and show us that unity reigns.
Okay.
To all my people in Ablekuma New Town, please come on 5th August to come and support me to bring the crown to Ablekuma. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so to all my people in Ablekuma, I won't just state a specific place. All my people in Ablekuma, please come and support me. Thank you, so that I'll bring the crown home.
Hey, the way you bring the crown home. Hey, you mean the two? I like that. Yes. Hey,
So I'm urging our viewers and the people watching this,
right,
lovely people of Ablekuma, to come and support me. I'm proudly representing Ablekuma Bas. And I'm the only person representing Ablekuma Bas. So they should expect nothing but the best. They should just come and have fun.
Okay.
Entertainment. We'll be having other performances.
Right.
They should just come. Enjoy.
It's a fun night.
Yes. We are bringing the crown to Ablekuma Bas.
Charlie, on Wednesday night, we are all going to Ablekuma. I'll pull all my guys in Ablekuma, from IB Dems to all of you. We are all going for Miss Ablekuma 2026. Copper, final words as we wrap up?
Yes, we're all looking out for your support. Yes, KS Royal, Fusena, Enterprise, Golden Rain, and the rest. Not forgetting our designers.
Yeah.
Our designers. Ablekuma designers are doing so well. I can't mention you guys your name, you know. I cannot forget you guys.
Yes,
man.
Yes,
Yeah, so on the 5th,
Yeah.
7 p.m., please, your support. We need you all there. Let's make a history. There is actually something which is going to happen. And I don't want to say this. This is like he said, if it is about copper, creativity at its best.
That's right.
So you don't miss this one. I beg. Let's all celebrate the homo. Let's start it from Ablekuma.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So it's said and done on the 5th of August, 2026 at 7 p.m. All roads lead to the St. Justin Catholic. It's an Anglican, rather, school park where Miss Ablekuma 2026 is happening, the first of its kind. We are bringing some spark to ABK City. That's what they say. And so I'll see you there. Ladies, I wish you all the very best. And I'm sure that when we get the winner, we'll bring the winner on the show.
Yes, we appreciate that, yeah.
So all the best to you. But that's it for the show this morning. But before we go, happy blessed birthday to my mother-in-law. Thank you for raising the love of my life and for being such an amazing mother. God bless you. And this is from Bella, wishing her mother-in-law a wonderful, wonderful birthday. And so happy birthday to all of you once again. It's been a wonderful run. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with us. God willing, tomorrow we are back on your TV screens. And I promise you nothing but the best in conversations and interviews. I am Joshua. Kodjo Mensah. Good morning.